If you have, say, $1.5 million in a pre-tax account like a 401k or an IRA, someone's probably warned you. Your required minimum distributions are going to blow up your retirement. So today we're going to test that, not with opinions, but with math. We'll fast forward to age 75, then calculate the first RMD. Then we'll calculate the actual federal tax bill under today's rules, including how it affects Social Security taxation and IRMA surcharges. So let's run the numbers. Let's say you're 62 and you're married and you just retired with $1.5 million in all pre-tax accounts. We'll assume a fairly conservative 5% annual return for the portfolio, and you'll need $80,000 per year in living expenses. We'll also assume you both take Social Security early, starting at age 62, which totals $3,150 per month or $37,800 per year, which is reduced by 30% due to claiming early. This means we need to make up about $42,200 per year from the portfolio to meet your spending needs. Now, fast forward 13 years later to age 75 when RMDs start. Even with withdrawing that income each year adjusted for inflation and assuming that 5% return, the portfolio still grows to about $1.76 million by age 75, which will be our working balance. Okay, so calculating RMDs is pretty straightforward. At age 75, the IRS Uniform Lifetime Divisor is 24.6. So 1,762,744 divided by 24.6 equals 71,656. That's the first required minimum distribution, a touch over 4% of the account. Now, let's pause there for a second. If your retirement spending target is $80,000 at 62, and you factor in 3.27% inflation, which is the 112-year average, by the way, at 75, your annual spending need would be about $124,692. And if about $71,000 of that comes from your IRA, that's not excess income. That's just funding your retirement. The only time lower RMDs truly matter is when you weren't planning on spending them or donating as QCDs and would just reinvest into taxable accounts, creating tax drag. Now, let's calculate the tax impact. Like we said before, there will be $37,800 in combined Social Security at 62. But by age 75 and factoring in COLA increases, that number will grow to about $54,336. And at this income level, 85% of that will be taxable. So about $46,186 becomes taxable income. That makes your total taxable income before deductions $71,656 of RMDs plus $46,186 of taxable Social Security plus a little bit of taxable interest equals $118,842. And this is where most people assume the tax brackets just explode. But we haven't applied any deductions yet. Under the current law, lower tax brackets are now permanent. The standard deduction is higher, and there's now an additional senior deduction. So a married couple age 65 plus in 2026 may have roughly $47,500 in total deductions. So subtract that from the $118,842 and you get $71,342 of taxable income. And at this level of income, you wouldn't trigger any IRMA surcharges either. You'd owe approximately $8,065 in federal income tax, which places you squarely in the 12% bracket, with an effective rate of 6.4%, which is hardly a catastrophe. Now, we can't have a conversation about RMDs without mentioning Roth conversions. However, they shouldn't just be a given anymore due to changes in the tax code that have shifted the math. First, RMDs now start later at age 75 for many retirees, meaning statistically, Many retirees will only take RMDs for a relatively short period of time due to life expectancy. Second, tax brackets ended up staying lower than many people expected. And third, there's now a larger senior deduction that shields more retirement income from tax. So when you combine these three things, many retirees end up taking their RMDs inside relatively moderate tax brackets. And when that happens, the tax rate arbitrage behind aggressively accelerating income through Roth conversions gets much smaller, or you could even end up paying more tax than necessary. Now, that doesn't mean RMDs never become an issue, because they can create pressure when income starts stacking. For example, a large pension already fills the lower tax brackets, account balances are significantly larger than this example, additional income pushes you into Medicare IRMA thresholds, or large portions of the RMD are just never spent and continue to compound in a taxable account, creating 1099 income. But in many situations, especially in the ranges modeled here, RMDs are manageable and land inside moderate tax brackets, which is why running the numbers is so important before restructuring your entire withdrawal strategies, or just assuming Roth conversions will help simply because they've become a popular rule of thumb online. Ultimately, RMDs are just a rule to make sure Uncle Sam gets his cut of all those taxes you deferred over the years. But they're not automatically a problem. What determines the outcome is income stacking, bracket management, and whether you actually need the distribution. In today's tax environment, the math often looks very different than it did even 5 years ago, which means strategy should reflect current law, not outdated assumptions. If you're approaching retirement with significant pre-tax assets and want clarity around your projected RMD exposure and whether accelerating income truly improves your lifetime tax picture, we can provide a personalized plan for you too. Just grab some time with me in the link below. See you next time.